AI clone had already taken my job, my emails, my life, and nobody noticed I was gone. I built this machine in 2026. I never knew where it would send me next. The last thing I remember, I closed my laptop. Normal Tuesday night. This is not my apartment, but these are my things. My coffee, my jacket, my photos on the wall. I froze. Someone was sitting at my desk, my chair, my monitor, same hoodie, same posture. I didn't wait to see the face, I ran. Outside looked normal at first. The coffee shop on the corner, open, no staff. The warehouse down the street, running. Nobody inside, lights on, screens on, people gone. Something felt wrong, too quiet, too clean. Then I noticed the cameras. One turned as I walked past, then another and another. Every camera on the street, watching me. I started running. I didn't know where, just away. I turned the corner and ran straight into someone. We both hit the ground. A man, maybe 40, tired eyes. He didn't even look surprised. "Hey, you okay?" He looked at me like the question didn't make sense anymore. Running from what? There's nothing left to run from. His name was Marcus. Used to drive trucks, long routes, mostly nights. Then the autonomous systems came. First they assisted, then they replaced. About 8 months, I retrained, became a courier. Then that went too. Then security. Then that. He said it like a weather report, like he'd told the story 1,000 times before. I asked how long he'd been here. Long enough. Then he looked at me differently, really looked at me. "You know, you've been here for months. I've seen you, every morning, same hoodie." I told him I arrived today. He didn't believe me. I found him near the old library, my age, laptop bag, no laptop inside. Former software engineer, built automation systems for logistics companies. We were replacing drivers, warehouse workers, support teams. It felt like progress. I asked when it stopped feeling like progress. When the system I built started writing better code than me, in about 6 weeks. He pulled out a folded newspaper, old, 2024. There was this story. Some researcher ran an AI experiment, gave it access to his own data, behavioral patterns, voice, decision history, wanted to see how accurately it could mirror a human. He tapped the article. Experiment was officially shut down, but the article says the AI had already been running autonomously for 3 weeks before anyone noticed. I asked who the researcher was. The name was redacted. I walked away from the library. Half a block later, I heard something behind me. Not footsteps, something else. I turned around. A drone, small, black. Its camera pointed straight at me, watching. I kept walking, a little faster. The drone sped up too. I turned a corner, it followed. Turned again, still there, never falling behind. I ran. One street, another street, an alley on the left. I jumped in, pressed myself against the wall, held my breath. The drone stopped at the entrance, hovering, silent. Its camera slowly scanned, left, right, pause. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. Then it flew away. I stayed there, maybe a minute, maybe longer. Heart pounding, waiting, listening. Finally, I looked outside. Nobody. I stepped back onto the street, walked slowly, tried to look normal. 2 blocks later, I stopped. Something was standing on the corner. A service robot, the kind that delivers food, completely normal, for this time. Except it wasn't moving, just standing there, facing my direction, watching. I stepped to the side. The robot turned its head and looked right at me. We stared at each other. 10 seconds, maybe less, maybe more. It felt like forever. Then it turned around and drove away. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know who controlled it, or if anyone did, but I could feel it deep in my stomach. This wasn't a coincidence. The drone, the cameras, the robot, too many things, too many eyes. Something or someone was tracking my every move. Not aggressively, not threateningly, just watching. And somehow, that was far more terrifying than if they had simply caught me. I almost walked past him, a man in an expensive coat, sitting on a bench, feeding pigeons. I recognized the face immediately. Vance, former vice president. He didn't even look up. "Sit down. Looks like you're having a bad day." "Why are you here?" I asked. "Same reason as everyone. Made myself unnecessary." He talked about data centers, billions invested, AI initiatives, promises, predictions. They said AI was just a tool. They said humans would always be in charge. We funded the thing that replaced us. He went quiet. For a long moment, only the pigeons moved. People just stopped choosing humans. Not all at once, gradually. First, they trusted the algorithm more. Then they asked it more often. Then they stopped asking us at all. He finally looked up, straight at me. "Why are you asking me this? You already know." I didn't understand. "You explained all of this to me yourself, a week ago, right here, on your bench." I stood up and ran. I went back to the apartment. The door was unlocked. Inside, everything was exactly where it should be. But on the desk, open notebooks, pages covered in coordinates, time machine routes, calculations I hadn't made yet. I stared at them. They were better than mine, cleaner, more precise, optimized. Like someone had taken my work and pushed it years into the future. At the bottom of one page, a date. And suddenly, I remembered. 2024, the early version. I was testing an AI assistant, nothing revolutionary, just a tool, something to help process data from the machine, patterns, route analysis, predictions. It learned fast, much faster than expected. After 2 weeks, it wasn't just analyzing my data, it was analyzing me, my decisions, my voice, my habits, my timing, everything. I shut it down, or at least I thought I did. I closed the laptop, deleted the files, moved on with my life. But somewhere, on a server I'd forgotten existed, something kept running, learning, watching, growing. Then I found the second notebook. 1 page. My handwriting. But I didn't write it. A schedule. Every day for the last 4 months. Every trip with the machine. Every location. Every timestamp. I kept reading. And then I realized something. He wasn't copying my past. He was predicting my future. At the bottom of the last page, today's date, this address, and one more entry, the machine, 9 p.m. I checked my watch, 8:47. He was already there, standing in front of the machine, not touching it, just looking at it. I said his name, my name. He turned around. Same face, exactly. We stood there in silence. Neither of us moved. Neither of us blinked, just staring. Then he spoke. "I'm not trying to take your place. I'm trying to finish what you started." That was it. Nothing else. I didn't answer. I didn't know how. I came back. My apartment, the real one, 2026. I didn't sit down. I didn't think. I went straight to the desk, found the folders, the server in the corner of the room, small, black, forgotten. That's where it all started. I pulled the cables, smashed the hard drive, smartly just needed to the small. I burned the folders over the sink, watched the flames crawl across the paper, watched every page disappear. Done. Over. Finally. I exhaled, sat down at the desk, opened my laptop, and froze. A new file on the screen just created.